You will drown in eternal night. Silence.
Triborg Sub-Zero is part of the martial artist class, and his passive is called Assimilation Protocol version 4.0. All Triborg characters gain a support robot to improve any special attack with Frostbite. On tag-in, he gains a 5-second ice shield. His teammates have plus 50% critical hit chance against enemies affected by freeze. Triborg Sub-Zero was introduced to the game on March the 7th, 2017 with update 1.12. Shortly after the initial launch, he became a challenge character, and also the passive has not changed ever since. Back in the day he was maxed out with level 50 and Fusion 7, and he is and was available in several packs such as the Cyberlin Quay pack, the Elder Challenge Booster, the Challenge Event Starter Pack, and the Cyborg Monday Bundle, just to name a few. His price in the old store was 463 souls, which became cheaper with the new store down to 450 souls, and as the level cap was raised with update 1.18, he now is maxed out with level 60 and Fusion X. Triborg Sub-Zero's gear piece is the Cyber Armor, and it gives you 35% self-heal at the end of Special Attack 3 or X-Ray/Fatal Blow attack, 50% resistance to all debuffs, which goes for Triborg characters only, and 25% basic attack damage boost. For his feats of strength, he will have to win 500 matches in battle mode to unlock his rune. For his victory stances, he will have to win 750 matches in faction wars. For his taunts, he will have to knock out 500 Sub-Zero enemies. For his icons, he will have to perform 2000 special 1 attacks. For his backgrounds, he will have to perform 3000 combo enders. And for his titles, he will have to perform 250 X-Ray/Fatal Blow attacks. And now let's take a closer look at the victory stances one by one, starting with victory. Next we have warming up. Third would be MK3 victory. And exclusive for Triborg Sub-Zero only, Exec Ice. And on your victory screen it will look like this. Now I'm going to show you all of his backgrounds. Next up we have the icons. And finally the titles. Triborg Sub-Zero has a tag in attack where he slides onto the battlefield, dealing minor damage, but if the opponent is on low health, this tag in attack is capable of knocking out your opponent. Triborg Sub-Zero has two kinds of combo enders. The first one is a high-mid combination, leaving the opponent on their feet, making it ideal for follow-up attacks. The second one is a high-low combination, basically with the same properties, just pushing the opponent slightly back, and you can easily connect with special attacks afterwards. His special one attack is called Cyber Strike, and it just deals damage, so there are no buffs or debuffs tied to it. Unless, of course, you have that little assist robot active, then it would also apply Frostbite, but that would be from his passive and not the special one itself, and the special one can knock out your opponents. His special 2 attack is called Technical Blitz, and it has a poison debuff tied to it. It is a bit on the longer side, but therefore it deals some really solid damage, and as you probably guessed it, this attack is also capable of knocking out your opponents. As with all Triborg characters, his X-Ray is called Cyber Initiative, and it has a weaken debuff tied to it. Triborg Sub-Zero has an ice shield once he tags in, which can protect him from incoming special attacks or even fatal blows / X-rays. And then we also have that little frost drone, which is renewed with every special attack you perform, enabling you to freeze and apply Frostbite. Now it's time to recommend some gear again, and my first choice would be the Bladed Fan, not only for the block break on basic attacks, but also the heal abilities of Special One, and since Triborgs are usually very Special One heavy, since that's where their passive lies, some heal effect at the same time is never a bad idea. The second choice comes straight out of the Lin Kuei Tower, and that is the epic Frost Mask, which applies Frostbite each time you knock a character out. Makes sense for Triborg Sub-Zero, right? Then my third choice would be his own gear piece, the Cyber Armor, mainly for the debuff resistance. 50% resistance to debuffs is extremely solid, making it 70% if you enable Hawk Stance in the talent tree. Choice number 4 also comes from the Lin Kuei Tower, and that's Kuai Liang's Bracers. With these little babies you can freeze your opponent on basic attacks, which once again makes totally sense for this character. And the winner in my book, and the best gear piece to put on Triborg Sub-Zero, is Moloch's Ball and Chain. Here you have the chance to break the block on special attack use, and if you combine that with other block breaking gear, then on the accessory slot such as the Vial of Infinite Blood or Kuai Liang's Bracers, the Royal Wine, this character is very, very dangerous, and you will have to be very careful if you deal with him. And when it comes to my favorite loadout at the moment, then I would just add the Frost Mask and Kuai Liang's Bracers, as well as Kuai Liang's Scepter, simply because he deals massive amounts of damage once he attacks frozen opponents. And also the starting bar of power, maxed out, it would be even 2 bars of power or something like that. That would be massive, but of course, it will take a long time to get there to max this gear piece out, but even if not maxed, it's pretty cool. And after the gear come the characters, and character choice number 1 would be Hellspawn Scorpion, 1.5 bars of power for martial artist teammates, so starting with some good power is really good for Triborg Sub-Zero. That of course can be extended with Shaolin Kung Jin, who also grants 1 bar of power to martial artists, so you could combine both of them and you would literally be almost at an X-ray, and if you add the Wrathhammer or the Kuai Liang Scepter as well as Bloody Tomahawk and such, you would immediately be at the X-ray. And then of course we have the obvious choices, starting with Cyrex Triborg, giving you increased critical hit chance as well as 50% critical damage boost. Then with Triborg Sector you could apply fire on special 1 use. And the winner in my book here would be Smoke Triborg or Triborg Smoke, who then also gives you the chance to power drain on special 1. And since almost every character in the game is vulnerable to power drain, this one would be the all-rounder. Triborg Sub-Zero is an amazing character and so much fun to play, one of the greatest challenge cards we actually have in the game, even though it has been a very long time since we last had this challenge. At the time of this recording we are now in October 2021, and I think the last time he was up as a challenge was back in December 2019, so no idea what is going on with that, since they never let us know why they take out certain characters out of the rotation of challenges. But if you can get your hands on Triborg Sub-Zero, be it via soul packs or directly from the store, he is definitely worth a purchase. And the higher the fusion, of course, the more effective he will be. He's also a great character for strategic gameplay, meaning when a character comes in with an X-ray and you have the chance to tag him in, his ice shield will just be able to absorb that and you still can continue the match without losing a single character. Only his basics can be a little bit on the slow side, but that's a very small price to pay for such a strong gold card. Then let's get to our quick pro and con overview, and my first pro is his tag and attack. Dealing a little bit of damage, can even knock out opponents, cool thing. Then second, Frostbite, it's one of the most annoying debuffs, and by the way, Triborg Sub-Zero was actually the very first character who brought Frostbite into MK Mobile, so if you hate Frostbite, you know who to thank. Then my third and final pro is the awesome special 1 attack. It does not only look pretty good, but also it always renews that little frostbite robot, I want to call it, so that you can on basic attacks apply frostbite and even freeze, which then makes the opponent vulnerable for a follow-up attack, which usually leads to you already having the next special 1 ready. Then let's get to the con side, and here I would mention the shield duration is very short. It's not a big deal. The thing is just like sometimes when you tag in and you have slower characters such as Shao Kahn or something, the shield could expire before he launches his X-ray, so that would be a little bit of a negative, but nothing all too serious. Then of course we should mention Dark Raiden, because almost doesn't matter who you play with Triborgs, Dark Raiden benefits from fire and especially from power drain, so special 1 use with Triborgs on Dark Raiden is never a good idea unless you can be sure that Raiden will be knocked out. Then my third negative, or the third con, would be that the basic chaining has tiny gaps. I already mentioned the basics are a little bit on the slower side, and now with the increasingly aggressive AI, the AI makes use of these gaps and interrupts your basic hits, and sometimes also you have a little bit of a cooldown phase after you performed a few hits, so in that moment Triborg Sub-Zero is a little bit vulnerable. vulnerable, and if you are unlucky, then the AI will take advantage of that and really knock you out. But now it's time for a final rating, and I am willing to give Triborg Sub-Zero, aka LK520, a 9 out of 10. And keep in mind, this rating is only in a spectrum of challenge cards, so he does not go up against basic golds or diamonds or anything like that. And as I already said, for a challenge card, this card is actually incredible and so much fun to play, so absolutely no regrets here. He's easily the best Triborg of all the four, and I'm only deducting that one little point because of the flaws in his basics. But yeah, that was my review of Triborg Sub-Zero. Actually, he was the only challenge card I haven't reviewed yet. I was constantly waiting for his challenge to pop up to finally do that review, but now after that long time I just said, you know what, I don't care anymore, I'm not waiting any longer. It's time to finish this card as well, so that all challenge characters are reviewed on this channel. Thank you for tuning in once again. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. In case you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button twice just to make sure. And if you want to support the channel a little further, please consider joining the Patreon family of KC Mobile Gaming. You can already do that with as little as just $1 a month. And also follow me on social media like Twitter and Facebook. You will find all the necessary information in the description below of every video. If you want to see more content, then why don't you just click on one of those two videos here. Thank you for your support. Have a good one. KC over and out for today.